I'm an Edgesport Academy fan first and foremost. At Rangers, when I was growing up, I was a Rangers fan. My dad took me to the games. You need to get some posters of Glasgow Rangers. Alan McCoist, do you know who Alan McCoist is? No.
Yes, I like PSG.
Stade Rennais, it's a French team. I live next to there and my father played for this team.
My dad, he was a Thistle fan, so followed him ever since. It might be torturous, but I still follow them.
You tend to follow the team your dad supports, so my dad was a big Celtic fan and I'm the same.
I was a St Mirren fan until I was about 4 years old. My mum said to my dad, we were living in Dumfries at the time, and I think she threatened him with divorce if she kept taking a 4-year-old to Paisley every week.
I became an Aberdeen fan when I was wee. Really been a fan ever since for my sins.
I think I was about 5 when I went to my first Rangers game. That's ingrained in me now. I was 16, I think, at the time, right into my local hairdressers, give us a Gaza.
I did get into supporting Rangers. We used to go down to Ibrox.
My dad's actually a Rangers fan, my brother's a Hibs fan, and my mother supports anybody that any of those 3 teams are playing, just to wind us up.
In the not too distant future, in 2024, Scottish football will officially be 600 years old. It has had to adapt and change, and it's had to rebrand itself and look at how to really attract a new generation of fans.
As much as I don't like to say it, it's really as much you're born a Protestant, you go and support Rangers, you're born a Catholic, you go and support Celtic. But yeah, football's changing, society's changing, and I think that what we're trying to do with Edgesport Academy and our football club is address that. Vous avez compris les gars? Ça fait 2 mois que vous êtes là, ça va? Hi guys, ça va? Dale, how you doing mate, alright? So, tu vas bien? First of all, thanks very much for coming tonight. The whole point of this project is to create a new football club. So take Edgesport Academy, change the name, change the badge, change the logo, and basically together as an online community, create this brand new football club. And it'd be the first time that it's ever been done, I think, in the history of football.
It's very, very new and refreshing, and I think it'll be very interesting to see then if it can get traction, because if it does become a success story and you start to see a new club forming, then it'll be a pioneer.
I just think it's really nice. I mean, the club itself is relatively young and it's been really relatively successful in a relatively short space of time. It's a project that you're kind of in pretty much right from the beginning.
It's about being part of something of value and feeling that you have a voice, and you can be a millionaire or you can be on minimum wage, but your vote counts as much as anybody else, and that's what football's all about. That's what it should be about. You know, it should be sharing passion for the game, sharing the same ambition, sharing the same hopes. Members have paid 25 quid. 25 quid today is 25 quid. It's a lot of money for a lot of people, but at the end of the day, hopefully it gives you guys an interest, hopefully it's a bit of fun, if nothing else. But if this works, and if we do generate some income, if next year we actually go and challenge for the league, if we can actually go on a run in the Scottish Cup, if we actually win the league, just imagine how good that's going to feel. You know, and apart from anything else, that's what it's all about. It's having that wee bit of hope. And that, if nothing else, for £25, I think it's all right, you know. Right, cheers guys, thank you. We launched this, our football club, earlier in the year, and again you have this idea and you think it's a good idea, but you don't really know until it's been tested. We're offering an opportunity for people to vote on the actual running of the club, the actual direction of the club. There's still a lot of guys that criticise us and what we're doing, you know. Oh, Edgesport, we don't have fans, we don't have a history, we don't have a home ground, all that kind of thing, you know. But it's like, we're a brand new football club in 2018, you know. Time's changed, you know. You don't need to have, you know, 50,000 fans to be a real football club, you know.
To be a proper football team, I think you need belief. You need a culture that both the players, management, the staff and the fans buy into. And by the sheer nature of this project, they have that.
And this is obviously Ricky, head coach, my pal, my nemesis, all rolled into one.
We've a love-hate relationship. He loves me. And I worked with Rangers and Edusport for the last 3 years, went to Hearts and had an opportunity to go in to Hearts full time, and I decided just to stay here and run this programme. I had a good chat with Craig Levein. That was probably one of the deciding factors, and Craig had said to me, he said, if you feel it's a really good opportunity, which seems it was, so I should go for it.
It's testament, I guess, to the project and what we're trying to do here as a football club. You know, it's not just about going and playing games on Saturday. There's a culture that we're trying to put in place and a real project. And whether it takes 2, 3 or 4 years, there's something in place, you know.
Oh, the dream is getting us promoted, I think, and having a sustainable team that's playing in the Scottish professional leagues, and then building from there.
We've played Football Manager before, millions of times, I guess, and we always used to, myself, I remember, used to try and take a small team and help them rise up through the divisions. I think there's an element of that as well. I think it's an element of supporting the underdog.
Edusport's not a traditional club, far from it. I think we're a very modern club. We've got a blank canvas, so we could try and mould our club whatever way we want to do it.
So I'd seen on the BBC Sport page the club that wants to get to the Scottish Premiership by 2025.
He spoke so eloquently about it, and really kind of, I found it quite kind of motivational, to be honest.
You know what you're getting with Chris, that's what I love about him. He wears his heart on his sleeve.
Premier Division by 2025, you would go, God, is that ambitious? But then you go, what's the point of being involved in football if you've not got ambition?
From next season onwards, it's no longer going to be the Edusport Academy. It's going to be a new football club.
I think ambition is great. There's no harm in having ambition and having the vision to try and take the club forward. There's no reason why it can't happen.
Why not? 2025. Okay, people are saying, oh, you're crazy. Crazy for me is doing the same thing year in, year out and expecting a different result. If we're going to launch this football project, ourfootballclub.com, and I, as the owner of the football club, come out and say, yeah, we're going to do this, and hopefully in 3 or 4 years, maybe, we're going to win the Lowland League, where's the passion there? Where's the fun in that? Where's the enjoyment in that? That doesn't stimulate anyone. That doesn't motivate anyone. We have to be ambitious. We have to have a big, hairy objective, a big, hairy goal. And that's what it's all about.
Let's get to it. The first round draw of the William Hill Scottish Cup. Robbie, can you draw the home teams? Charlie, the away teams. Robbie, it's over to you.
16.
Number 16. It's Edusport Academy.
6.
And they will take on number 6, Buckie Thistle.
Fan base in terms of people who come to games, or could be better. We actually, at the moment, we ground share with Annan. Annan, there's nobody going to come and watch us in Annan, because we're basically a Glasgow football club, if you like, playing in Annan. I don't know, I think if you look at the map, it's probably the club that play their home games furthest away from their training ground, probably in the UK.
I think that's the day that we had the most sort of members down for that, because I think there was maybe a dozen of us there that day. Bearing in mind there was about 80 odd Buckie fans there, sitting in the bar drinking a few of the Buckie fans. There were a couple of characters there.
The away fans are taking over at the moment, but hopefully we can increase the members and hopefully we can get the win tonight.
We don't have a fan base because we don't have a real home, if you like. So we're working on that. That's very much something that we're trying to do. We're trying to get a ground up here and closer to Glasgow in the Central Belt.
There are some fans who come and support us, like maybe 5, 6. So it's really good because they go to Annan to see us.
I mean, it's ups and downs, isn't it? It's really ups and downs, and you've got to take with the good times and the not so good. The first round against Buckie Thistle was great, against a really good Buckie team. I'm hoping it's going to mean as much to the members as it does for the guys that are in the changing room, and that's the kind of thing we want to aspire to, where they're really having a care and I suppose a care and a love for the club, and a result like this goes a long way to help that.
I guess I think we're at a point in Scottish society, in Scottish history, where things that were previously really popular, where everybody traditionally went, and people like, for instance, church is one of them, football is one of them, where everybody on a Saturday would go to the football, everybody on a Sunday would go to church. I think we're at a time in history where these things have got to start changing if they're going to keep up with the way Scotland is going. I think that means being creative. I think that means looking at things from a different kind of way, maybe approaching things from a kind of entrepreneurial way, looking for gaps, looking for ways to adapt to society. So I think Scottish football's at a place where it's got to start doing that, and I think EduSport is probably one of these things that would be in line with that.
So I met Chris 10 years ago coaching in the international school world. He was coaching the American School of Paris. So he had this dream. I mean, that was good. That was 10-ish, 11 years ago. And I think it was 2011 where he really pressed go on his first cohort of kids that went across.
I had always had this kind of notion that I want to be involved in a club on a day-to-day basis, or kind of manage a club, or be involved as a coach. And I thought, it could be really quite exciting to open up my own academy. In France, enormous amount of fantastic young footballers. And again, with the greatest respect, their English language is not the greatest. So it was really in the back of my own experience as a student athlete in America. I felt there was something to do with bringing young French footballers into Glasgow, into Scotland, to use football to help them, obviously develop as footballers, but also have the cultural experience and educate them at the same time. Anyone who works with youngsters, particularly in football, they have a responsibility to be honest, to tell the truth, to be transparent. So anyone who wants to come to be a pro will certainly advise against that, just because of the nature of the game. It's very, very difficult. So guys, they have to have a desire to improve, not just as footballers, but also to learn English and to have a good experience here in Scotland. That's paramount.
I'd heard about EduSport really just in conversation, but it was positioned to me at the time that it was a team that was bringing French students in from overseas to try and learn English, and then using football as a way to keep them occupied on a weekend.
I think that was maybe one of the fascinations of it, because it was just a different way of working. Where a lot of clubs, they start off as a football team and then they branch out into academies for younger players, where EduSport's doing it the reverse. They had the academy players and then they're hoping to build up through the leagues eventually.
There wasn't really a pyramid system in place in Scottish football pre-2014-15, I think it was. The whole idea of the pyramid was to kind of try and create a pathway for ambitious football clubs to rise to the top of the game. Previously it was a glass ceiling.
I had to pitch up and say who we are, EduSport Academy, French footballers, we want to join the league, XYZ. And then they send you out into the hallway where they discuss and come to a conclusion and vote. And then they bring you back in, and I was thinking there's just no way that they're letting us into this league, French footballers playing down the south of Scotland. And to be fair to those guys, they voted us in, and that was a game changer for us, because that gave us an opportunity to get into a league. And not just any league, a league that's actually affiliated with SFA and part of the pyramid system. When we won that league, when we became the first club in Scotland to get promotion through the pyramid system. When I set up the academy, it used to be, you would ask a young guy at the academy, what's your objective, what's your goal? And guys would say, to sign a pro contract, to play pro. And now this year you ask the guys, what's your objective this year with the academy? And the first thing they say is to play in the first team. So that, for me, that's music to my ears. That's the way it should be. We're trying to create that desire for guys to get into the first team and show that there's the academy here that leads to the first team if you do well,
My dream, become football player, professional football player. For me, I was born with a ball in my foot.
Homesick?
Homesick.
Do you miss France?
Oh yeah, a little bit. My mom kitchen, my mom cook,
Oh yeah.
She cooks very well, so I miss you, mom. I don't know this country, so it's an opportunity to know a different culture, to improve my football and my English level.
Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at this text, and it's been a little while since we've done some reading, so I think it's important to go back to it.
At the center of Paris is the river Seine. It's liquid earth. For Parisians, the Seine is a compass, a way to know where you are.
Lovely. I think it's very important for footballers to think about their education because they are here not just to play sports, but they're also here to get to know Glasgow, get to know Scotland. Football is only one chapter of their lives.
I'm not the best player in the world, I improve, so I'm learning, but I give 100% at each training. Yeah, I want to play for the first team.
I wanted to go in another country to start to speak English because my English was really bad before. So I wanted to go in another country and still playing football. I see the project of EduSport and I said why not, and I went to the stage to go there. Yeah, I miss my friend, miss my family. I love my region, my city. So it's a really good place. So yeah, sometimes I miss it, even if Glasgow is good. It's grey all the time and wet.
Who's the best footballer in the family?
My dad, I think. My dad was really good, but I tried to be better. But no, we don't have the same position. He was number 10 like Zidane.
Oh yeah.
He was really good. Good scorer, good dribble. Me, I'm more on the impact, so it's different style. 24.
Okay.
I'm 24, so I'm start to be old in football, I think. I'm not old, but like on the football, I think I start to be. And yeah, I still want to play in the highest level where I can. But I know it will be complicated to sign like this, so maybe think I maybe like take a club who have a good ambition to go higher, and I can go higher with this club. So I think EduSport have a good project for that. So it's for that I came here.
Some people class me as being their first official fan, and as it is now too, because I'm the only actual official club official too as well. You get all the official documents from the SFA and that, so you find out lots of things that you never knew before. So it certainly broadens your horizons. I get that chair ready for Ricky because he uses it to put the board up when he's doing the tactics thing with the boys, with the magnet thing on it. The away team that's in there, they'll have. I've been trying for ages to get them to do some decent music, but it's always head thumping stuff to put on when they come. I'm not planning to do it when they move up to Bothwell Hawk though. I don't mind coming down 15 miles, but 60 miles is a bit far. I was a nurse for 39 years.
Okay.
And retired 8 years ago, a year early. I retired on the, not that I'm precise, but it was Friday the 13th of May 2011 was the last day I worked. Well, I've got a 9-year-old granddaughter that's kept me busy for the last 8 years of my retirement, and then still play badminton twice a week, always something to do, and I love washing cars. I call it car washing Pilates. You know, because you're bending and stretching, and nobody washes my car but me. I collect and bring the sandwiches for the after-match hospitality. I get them from Morrison, just a sandwich platter. £6 each there. You see some of the pictures I've taken over the years. That's me at the East Kilbride match. The team lost that day, but I won the £100 half-time draw. That's my thing from my Facebook page. I have the Easysport Academy. That's me with the Queen. Had to buy the picture, like, but so I move in high circles, you see, as well as Easysport Academy. There's two important people I know now, is Chris Ewan and the Queen.
I got a call from Chris directly, asked if I'd be prepared to meet him for a chat so he could explain his vision. One of the pieces of advice I remember was saying that, you know, the club really needed to put some roots down, really needed to find a ground and to actually get a future community that it could be part of.
The vision for this place is basically this can essentially be our home. What we'd like to do as well, and I'm going to speak to the council, we'd like to put it to the members, but we'd like to be able to rename the facility. So at the moment it's called Bothwell Hall, but we'd like to put it to the members to rename it, and the members would like to call it something like Alliance Park.
Hopefully when we move there we can get sort of a fan base for the local community and that to come to the games as well.
The stadium getting built there is absolutely ideal for me, and it's ideal for me to take my son and his pals on a Saturday. It's ideal just to put them in the car and take them down.
You take the dog along?
It's handy for the likes of me. I mean, I'm in Paisley, so 15-20 minutes down, and my kids can come watch me. My kids, well, my boy used to come quite a lot, but I need to try and show my wee girl that my dad's not a bad player.
It's fine, I've got a good wee set up here, but this is a dining room essentially, you know. Hopefully we can get the stadium up and running, we can get an office, and it just means all the business with the academy and things like that, we're all in the one place.
So I think there's going to be a stand, 200 people I think initially, but we can add on to that as the club grows. Over there covered, and the whole place will be sealed off, so there's no one from the outside can look in. And this building behind us is going to be revamped as well.
I don't know if it has a specific name. I think it's the hospitality suite we're in at the moment. I don't know if they're planning anything out with that. If there's some sort of kind of viewing gallery, I suppose you could have that in here. Executive box for the fat cats who want to come to the game. What I would like, that's at the moment, that's our first team training food station. I have asked NL Council for a table for that, but as usual it's taking a wee bit of time. We're hoping to get this into a bit of a kind of laundry area and need to get a kit man first before that. I heard you were applying for a job after the documentary. Get lockers up and things like that and just tidy the place up. It's a bit, I don't know, what would you call it, dingy at the moment. You know, you go into a lot of stadiums, they've got like different things on the wall, you know, players, and I don't know, there's a million things you could have, you know, things like, you know, like maybe your kind of team slogan, things like that, or that type of thing. Does it matter? Does it make a difference? I think it gives a feel of a professional environment if you have that up, so something I would like to bring in now.
You know, you come back in a couple of months and it'll be nothing like it is just now, hopefully. When we start getting promoted, then it could be a 200-seater stand there, it could be 400, 500, it could be 1,000. You know, it could be, we could get, this is us dreaming here, alright, but we could get Celtic or Rangers in the cup, and it could 5,000 people here. And that's what it is, we're offering people a project, we're offering people an opportunity to be part of something that's very unique in Scottish football. And the ground, yeah, it's part of that, you know, and it's exciting, you know. Where a traditional football club would have fans who would come to the game on a Saturday, local fans, and then they would have online fans. We're doing it back to front, so we're basically essentially trying to generate an online community that support the club, and then once we have that, and then once we're successful on the pitch, then that will lend itself to an actual physical fan base who will then come to the games on a Saturday.
But why not? Like, life evolves, and it's the 21st century, and everybody is online. Why not try something different?
The goal that they scored against Civil Service Strawers that went viral, I mean, that was seen by something like 4 million people. That was nuts.
Incredible goal. And I was proud of the boys that they scored that. You talk about way of playing. Started with a throw-in. I remember just Scotty just working off his marker, and Max gave him a good throw-in. He played it round the corner to Matty Flynn, it was. Matty took a touch and laid it off. And then it was a mixture of combination play. Mark Kelly, Lewis Gamble, Matty Flynn, Scotty.
Just one touch pass all the time. Beautiful cross of Max, and I score. I finished the goal. When I saw, I didn't know what I need to do, like a celebration. I don't know what to do, so just I stay like this, you know.
I remember right after I thought, maybe that was not a bad goal, but you don't appreciate how good a goal was until you actually seen it back.
So you're looking at that and you're thinking, wow, and it just highlights and underlines the power of social media today, you know. Challenge is, how do you monetise that? You get 5 million people have seen the goal, but how do you turn that into members?
Money's important. There's no getting away from it. You do need to have financial backing to have a success within elite football.
Quite simply, the more members that we have, the more money the football club will have. And the more money the football club has, the more chance of us being successful. And that's really, really basic mathematics, you know, it's really, really, really straightforward. It's the same principle in the 5th division of Scottish football as it is in the La Liga or in the Premiership.
With their names Gretna 2008, obviously that's when they get formed, but previous to that was, well, that was at a point where they were putting, you know, I don't know if it was millions, but you know, it seemed that way, that the club went from the old Division 3 right the way up to the Premier League, got to the Scottish Cup final, and it was a guy, Brooks Milson, I think, who was a bankroller behind their success before he passed away, and it all went wrong after that. So, but they're a different club. I think they're just a community club now, and they work it just kind of week to week like the rest of the kind of teams in the division. So. Brilliant, look at all that. That's brilliant. That was a wee bit before my time. 95, I went to Falkirk 97, just as a young guy. But I used to clean a lot of these guys' boots, certainly Neil Oliver. That's when centre-halves were centre-halves, ugly centre-halves. It's just the head of the ball. Scotty McKenzie, who I still speak to now, he's coach at Partick, good player. Always remember going into a training session, my first training session. I made a mistake and he fucking slaughtered me. Slaughtered me. But he was doing it to help me, you know, he was doing it so I could go and get, you know, test my courage to see if I would go and get the ball again. And it's a different generation, the boys coming through now. So they're not quite used to that demand maybe being placed on them. I think there's other ways to maybe get it out of them.
Ricky's the third coach manager that I've since I started following Leader Sport. I think because he's brought it on so much since he joined, he wants to sort of see it through, although he's had offers to move on and, you know, go other places, but he's you know, committed to the whole ethos of the club. But whether we'll keep him, I don't know. I'm sure there'll be people looking for him.
I really like this gaffer. Like, he knows that the Scottish football is not the greatest football in the world, but he tried to do the pass and stuff like that, not long ball all the time.
That's your game, lads. That's your fucking strength to go and fucking play. You get a goal, first 20 minutes is going to fucking tell me everything fucking about you. And this is what happens in football. You come down fucking at half time, you're fucking 1-0 down. Let's fucking see your character. All right, come on.
I think Ricky's a really, really good man. I think he understands his players in a way that's not just football. I think he's appreciative of the emotional side of the game, and they're all very good communicators, which I think is really important. It's somewhere like this where there can be language barriers, so they're all very expressive, which I think is a good thing.
Shite back! Lucky bastard. Fuck. Oh, you cunt. Perfect fucking hit it! Lewis! Get up the pitch, Lewis! Fergie!
Fucking tell who's coming up! Yeah! And we fucking go, sir! Come on, still get fucking tight!
Yeah, well, we came over actually. We had a wee holiday up in the Highlands this week, so we had a camper van, went up through the west coast of Scotland, up through the Isle of Skye. These two were born in Paris, and this one was born in Govan. So, in the same hospital as Daddy in the Southern General. As much as obviously we live in Paris, I'm a very proud Scotsman, proud Glaswegian, and it's always great when the family can come back and they can see what's going on in Glasgow.
The first time I met Chris in Paris, it was in a bar. He was like a bartender, and just pop in. I think he was really charming, really nice, really open-minded. I think he was really curious about French culture. And I never know anything about Glasgow and about the neighbor he's from, Pollock. And after that, and when I came to visit him because he was going back and everything, I just discovered that he was from this city, quite tough. Yeah, it's like two different lives, basically, you know. When Chris is here, obviously with the team and everything, there's a lot of work, but I'm far away and I'm in my routine job, so it's like he says, and that's what I feel also, that he has two lives, you know, in parallel, Paris and Glasgow. No?
Thank you. Before you can eat your breakfast, you need to count the beans. In English, count the beans. This is better than a croissant, Joe, no? Feeling good, yeah, it's a lovely day for it. But there's no denying that they've done a fantastic job here, you know, and again that's why the Lowland League's so special, because it offers the opportunity to clubs like Spartans and ourselves to try and get into the professional leagues. Beautiful day, girls, no?
Chris is a really, really, really good father. He's brilliant. It's just, his girls is just like central for him. And I think that sharing his passion with them, because when they're here at the club, they love it and they're just try to help, and he's really happy about that. I think he calms him down also because he's a bit nervous.
Very special day today because we've got two of my three girls here for the game, so they're going to be mascots today for us.
Take care of the fucking basics, lads, excuse my French. Alright? One thing's for sure, it's not about 1 to 11, but 1 to 18. So make sure we're a good group that we can be today and go and get a win. Alright, come on, good luck. Come on.
Guys, let's go! So this will be their first official game, if you like. They just love it, you know, they come over. They actually get to see what my job is, they actually get to see the guys, and they're very proud of everything that we've done with the academy, and it's great that they actually get to see it.
He knows that he has a stress challenge because he's building something, he doesn't know how to do it. So every time he's doing something new, he's afraid to fail, he's afraid to do wrong, but he knows that it's the only way to make it.
Really good, actually. Don't know if it's worth coming back to Paris to live in Scotland for, but good pie.
Sometimes I think he's pushing the limits a bit too far, and sometimes I'm here to try to tell him, come on, calm down, you know, there's no point pushing yourself, challenging yourself so much, you know. He can't stop. He can't. He just can't.
It's not an easy project, you know, and I think we all knew there was going to be challenges, you know, and you know, and I think it's just really trying to improve, you know, what we're trying to do with the project, you know. But I think what we both liked was it was something different, you know. Potentially you're looking at something that you might not be able to get to all the time, but can follow and be part of, you know, and especially at the infancy, we have challenges here with the farm and trying to take things in a certain direction, and it was just something that interested both of us. I mean, we're 6 generations here, Ross. You know, we've been running the mill really since about, the family came about 1877. The farming's always changing, Ross. I mean, you know, we've got pictures here of the farm over the last 40, 50 years, and it's amazing how it's changed. Like everything else, though, you've also got to look to the future. You've got to look, and is there something else that you can add to the business? The hydro project, Ross, if you just follow me here, it's actually through there. For me, it's, you've got new and the old here with the mill. You've got the water wheel still that potentially drives the mill, and you've got the arc-median screw there generating electricity, you know, for the farm.
If we didn't have the hydro project here, it's questionable whether we would have stuck with it, because the way that traditional farming's going, and you've always with a slightly heavy heart kind of felt that you're going to be the last generation here, haven't you?
Farmer's best friend, Ross. Bit straight.
You've built up trusted relationships with people that actually have got quite specialist knowledge to bits of things that are happening in the farm, which allows you a bit of peace of mind.
It's like any project or anything you do, or you do need people that you can go to, you know, and help you, you know, and help you, you know, when you do have these challenges. I think if we could find a name, you know, and actually the name in the lower leagues that sticks out for me, if we could find the names, you know, on that lines, is the Spartans. It's a name that sticks out.
I was talking to Chris about the team name change just through the week there, and he was saying that sort of beginning of May is a sort of cut-off point for having the name set in stone.
The name, there was a lot of discussion in the forums, a lot of folk kind of not falling out, but putting their opinions over. And there was a large list of names comes up, where I think it would be better for the likes of Chris to give us a short list.
Chris put a thing on last week, if you go onto the Our Football Club site, saying to give 5 suggestions. So I gave my 5 suggestions: Edosport Phoenix, Edosport Phoenix, Edosport Phoenix, Edosport. And one of the other guys says, Eric, you'll have to stop standing on the sitting on the fence and tell us what you really want.
I just don't think Edosport, it's a good name, but I don't think it's the football name.
I sit on the fence an awful lot with the name, and I swither a little bit. We're in Glasgow Museums Resource Centre, which is the main store for all the Glasgow museums. I am the assistant manager out here. We have groups and tours in. So this is the main art store for the vast majority, well, it's for all the Glasgow museums. So we've got the paintings, we've got natural history, transport technology. It's a treasure trove. There's so many objects. We've got over 1 million objects on site. I know some of the guys are particularly keen on certain things. I quite like there was sort of talk of Phoenix or something like that that would be quite a maybe evocative kind of name. I suppose we've got all the sort of birds of prey and things like that up here that's quite interesting. It's a hawk, that one. Maybe we could be called the Eagles. I think there's a band called the Eagles. This is always good. They like this. Is the narwhal tusk? Or is it a unicorn horn? Who knows? Aye, the bisons. That's got to be, yes, there we go. Imagine that. Imagine that as your logo, the badge. There you go, that big head.
Chris is the one that's speaking to the SFA and the Lowland League for advice and things like that. So you maybe have something that he can pull the rabbit out of the hat and come away with something that's not been thought of, and magically it suits everybody.
So Chris is down at MTC Media alongside me and my team, going through some workshops with them and potentially a new identity for the club as well. With regards to the name, we've got to emit something, we've got to represent and emote something. So we want to try and delve into that as much as we can.
For me, I wanted something that was modern, unique, with a global kind of feeling element, but something as well, and this is where the challenge may lie within, is something that's going to be acceptable in a traditional football environment, which is the SFA and Hampden.
I mean, it's great to work on a project that's so close to obviously my heart as a football fan and as a designer.
I don't think there's any clubs, I mean, you mentioned Aberdeen, there's Motherwell, there's other clubs that have these kind of membership schemes for their fans, but there's no club, I don't think, that has the opportunity to rebrand, rebirth.
So we're looking at the likes of coming up with a word bank for the club, looking at different possible outcomes, different narratives for the brand to follow, the international, the localised feel.
I say quite keen on, but something I certainly wasn't opposed to was having Glasgow in the name. Also on board the Phoenix, the idea of the Phoenix, which is like taking something in its rebirth. A lot of people talk about Alliance, like the old Alliance.
There's lots of different handles that could be associated with a club. It's always good to try and get something that's a little bit more unique.
I put Sparrow.
Sparrow, okay.
Which is hope in Latin, so they tell me. Eagles is pretty cool, it sounds good, Edge Sport Eagles. You can maybe argue that Eagle is a bird in Scotland.
Eagles. Shall we go the pigeons? Scottish pigeons? Is it in Motherwell itself?
No, it's in Strathclyde Country Park, so there's Strathclyde.
So Scotland, generally, Highland.
Did we stick Caledonia in there somewhere? Is that in location?
Caledonia is in with there, but we'll also pop it in here.
One that I liked was Central Belt. The Central Belters.
I'm quite happy to see clubs like Edge Sport and our football club going for something a little bit more daring, a little bit more brave, and trying to bring a little bit more excitement and investment to the game as a whole. I think we'll narrow it down to maybe 5 names, and that's the 5 that we progress for rationale and we send over to you.
And then I can go back to the guys and the members in the forum, and I can explain and what we've done today and the rationale behind it, you know.
Obviously the fans will then have the final word on exactly how that narrative takes place for the club.
William, come. You'll be the first one to get it. There you go, mate. Aye, do that, mate. I think the first season's key. I think it's sort of trying to win hearts and minds for the first year, let people know who we are.
In the short time that I've been a member, in a year or whatever, we've had various meetings. There's things that I would never have really ever got to do with my own team, so I have had an amount of involvement. And what other fan really gets the opportunity to be in that kind of situation where you've got the head honcho of the club? I've been to various games, we've met the team, been on the team bus. The players are a lovely bunch of guys, and they say, hello, how you doing? Being involved in it in that way is great, and you do become more enthusiastic, and you know there's this sort of will for the team to do well, but for the project to kick on, it's great.
These are great games, alright? They're only great games if you apply yourself properly. Fucking good players in this dressing room. They look about, you're good lads, you react well, you'll play well, alright, and you'll go and get 3 points. Come on, let's go.
Well, we'll gloss over the actual game itself. Next.
We've obviously been on quite a bad run, but in terms of results recently, we've done well at the start and then we went on a bad run, but it's been interesting to see the reaction of some of the players and staff and things like that, positively, negatively.
A lot of players left or get injured, and there was a big turnover in players, and that kind of knocked the stuffing out of us a wee bit because we were adapting with so many changes. I mean, you can maybe get away with losing 1 or 2, but I think we lost maybe 7 or 8 players, so it's a massive turnover.
Some of the players left and went back to amateur football. Some of them were the ones that were the heart of the team and made the midfield tick.
Listen, I'm at Albion Rovers Berwick, mate, so I can't really hear you too much. Oh, aye, mud bath. Well, we don't have a scouting network. Most clubs will have 1 or 2 scouts. Obviously, we're new. So just try to get out, actively out, seeing players. It's probably the hardest part of the job, to be honest with you. This is what I think. I always think about the lower divisions. There's some good players in there. Always some good football players in there. And sometimes it just they get maybe lost in maybe the environment, the pitch, or the circumstances, and maybe the way the game's played a little bit at this level. Yeah. And I honestly think that part of I see my job is trying to get people along to the games. They're maybe viewing it online or whatever. So for that, they need to watch an attractive brand of football. Obviously at Boswell Hall it's close to, you know, the park and things like that, and so I think there's something to be done with that, you know, commercially, you know, and you know, to try and get maybe families along and kids along to the games. And a kid wants to come with a family and watch something that's decent to watch.
Yeah.
You know, it's if they're no like here, like supporting the Albion Rovers, for example, since they were wee, they're not going to come back and watch us again if it's, you know, Blood and Thunder. You know, they've no grown up to be Edosport fans. You know, that's going to take a long time.
How do you think your kids feel about you being a football manager?
I've no idea, I really don't. I think that's just in the make-up of the family. They just, every Saturday it's like, good luck Daddy, every Saturday I come in, what was the score Daddy, you know, like, and if it's a bad one, they quickly put you in your place, you know, if it's not went well for you, where they'll say, you know, like, you know, just behave normally as kids do and you need to deal with them, you know, they still need bathed and, you know, they still need put to bed regardless of the result, so it's grounding, coming back into the house after a defeat. It's a lonely existence up there, isn't it, that ball boy? He's waiting for that full-time whistle to go.
Nothing? Nothing.
Good, that's what I like to hear. 2 weeks ago, in a match, he was running to get the ball, just down the line, and then he just felt his hamstring. Ping. Just turn over. So, he's been out for 2 weeks so far, but we've made very good progress.
I played football for my whole life. I had to quit myself because of injury, so I know what the guys who are injured are kind of going through. It took me a wee while to probably get over that before I could actually do something like this, but Edosport for me personally has been quite a healing process actually, to be able to still be around the football environment, but maybe not necessarily have to do all the running. I understand the pressures and I understand what it's like to grow up and only to have one goal in life. And I understand what that feels like when it's starting to maybe be taken away from you.
I feel good, but I'm injured, so very frustrated because I can train with the group, with other guys, and me just sit. You don't have the choice, and if you have a bad mentality, if you are in a bad mood, it's difficult when you come back. You know what I mean? So just be confident, stay positive, and be patient.
And well, for him as well, you never know, he might get up to the first team as well. I think he's been playing that well that he's been liked, so if he gets back fit, you never know.
I think when I will come back, I will be the best.
Your last goal there, Val, was it good skill? Your last goal? No. No. Fucking no skill. Zero skill. Just that, hard work, that was it. Great play, the possession there was good skill, and bump, out, excellent. So you're always thinking, I try not to bring it home, but I don't think it's impossible not to bring it home. You know, your mind always drifts to the game, you're thinking, right, okay, what I need to do for this week.
It's a hard job he's got, but he's a really qualified guy. The top flight level you can get. He's in it for the right reason, I think.
Aye, so that was the book I produced for the end of the pro licence. It was brilliant to make you think about your own thoughts on the game, compiling that book itself, because you had to actually take time and think about what you're going to put down on paper. One thing I've realised is being the head coach or being the manager of a senior club, no matter the level, it forces you to go and put your own ideas. So all that in there, you need to say, right, okay, that's my ideas, I need to now go and put that in practice. And that's been a huge thing, and that's what I think any coach worth their salt has to do. And at the end of the day, the buck stops with the manager, and you live and die by how that works or not. I realise it's a kind of big thing to come to Edosport, not in terms of a big thing for their career, but a big step, because nobody really knew about Edosport before. It was always linked to, you know, if you want to call it the French thing. So trying to encourage Scottish players to come was difficult. Matty was a young player, was a professional at Dundee United, and you know, I think younger to that, he represented Scotland internationally as well. Obviously had a lot of kind of ambitions to go and play at a higher level, and he's found himself kind of as a kind of, you know, professional lower league player. But Matty's a big character in there, and he's a good lad. He's got a lot to give.
I think coming down here on a Wednesday, I mean, some of the boys' work, training was good. We trained on Monday, we prepared Monday, and then again, 4:45, and we're heading down here. I don't even know where we are actually.
Important game for us actually. They'll be our second bottom of the league at the moment. They've got a few games in hand, and I think it's a game that if we go and win, it kind of, hopefully it puts kind of anything to bed in terms of getting involved in any kind of scraps down the bottom of the league.
That run over Christmas into the new year, we went, I think it was 6 games without picking up even a point, so that was the rough patch for us. I don't know, I think it's just one of the things that happen in football that you start to think, when is this win going to come?
Hard game because it was like a Wednesday, middle of the week. In the night, it was far away, so it wasn't a good scenario. The pitch wasn't really good too.
Those are long, dark days in Scotland during the winter months, and if you're not winning, and if there are people around the world, and that it's a different pressure, but they must think, you know, there are people, there's the guys in Singapore, the guys all over the place that are now looking at this football club, and it's hard. I mean, you look to your leaders.
What's the name of
Matty Flynn?
Matty? Matty! Walk! Yes!
I've never been a football manager, never kidded on to be apart from on the computer. So, I mean, I'm sure Ricky, Colin and that's doing their best to sort of get the best out of the players. Sometimes it's hard to just break a losing habit. When the team's losing, sort of confidence is low, maybe just takes that wee bit of luck.
To come away or win today and to show a bit of character and battle today in a horrible night in horrible conditions, it's been good to get 3 points, so it's important.
Well done. It's no easy to come down here on a Wednesday night, definitely not, and get the 3 points. You've fucking done that and you deserved it. Well done.
You know, the project itself I think is amazing potential, but we need something to kickstart it. So the big thing's still the name. I mean, guys are like they're desperate to see what the name's going to be and how are we going to do that, and they're talking a lot about the new ground as well. They seem to be concerned that there's a lack of public transport and they would like to have something in Glasgow, and you know, but I think with the greatest of respect, they possibly don't understand just how difficult it is.
Just me today, I think. Spoke to a few of the other members this morning to see if I could get any other interest for them to come along, but it's just me. Away games are more fun, definitely. I think you ask any football fan that, they enjoy going to the away games more. I don't know, it's always something special you can't quite put your finger on. I think it's good to go and get a win and sort of stick it to the other fans. I know Chris because I went to primary school with him. You see the size of him now, he was always towered above everybody else, and he was a good football player himself. It's a bit of a grainy image because his cameras weren't that great back in the 80s, but if you can see that, that's me there, down at the front, and that's Chris poking his head out at the top there. It'd be good if you had like 2 or 3 members here, wouldn't it, to a bit of banter and stuff, eh? Banter myself, aye. Oh dear. It's a bad one. Oh, lovely tackle. Have a shot there, man. You might get a shot at me leaving early. Yeah, I was looking at my phone, I missed that one. That's what happens when you're checking your football coupon, Ross. What is it with foreign keepers, man? Want to punch your ball every time? Just catch your thing. Yeah! Oh, that was in. On you go. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes! Brilliant, boys. Right, you ready? Yeah. Yes! Well done, boys. Yes! Everybody will look good. What's that not to real doing? Good to at least no lose, but could have 2 to 3 points today, definitely. Wouldn't have spent my Saturday any differently. I'm glad I spent my Saturday here, aye.
Taking a touch, then you check.
Oh fuck. Oh no! Kazakhstan. Is that 2-0? Oh my fucking god. I was hoping Scotland might start off well in the campaign. Thought, right, I'll watch the game while the boys are in, and then 2 quick goals and phone goes off and slaughtered. So I was like, if I could cause any of them pain, I would, but I can't. I'd just make my job worse.
Bring it all the way up this time. Okay, keep going. Hard as you can. That's it. And relax. Maybe spend 5-10 minutes warming up, and then we begin the 4 minutes.
Good news?
Yeah. But I have to take my time. Don't go too quick because it's dangerous.
Jeremy is quite good at the moment. He's got no pain in any of the strength testing. Mentality's brilliant. His attitude's spot on. It can't be any better. Can't question him. I know he's doing everything I've asked him to do, so he works hard and he's a good professional.
What EduSport, the academy side, it does, it tests the guys. The guys, when they come in, they take a lot of time to develop. They take time for me to see them properly, how they act, how they are, technical, tactical, all that. The football side of things, when it's dark and it's wet and it's windy and you know they've maybe been away from their family. Jeremy is a player I've had my eye on for a while, and he dealt with that really, really well. You can see the progress. He started off and came here as a decent player. Now I believe he's equipped with more tools to be an even better player. He got an injury, like you said, now he's back, so we're looking to try and get him involved on Sunday's quarter-final against Stirling.
Well, I started the training, so right now it's okay. Any pain, everything is good, so I can train with the first team. College, it's good. I passed an exam Monday. I had to write about monuments I have visited in Glasgow. I chose Celtic Park.
Oh really?
Yeah. If I had to choose between Rangers and Celtic, I will choose Celtic, but don't say that for my coach.
Future holds what he wants to. He's got the raw attributes to be a young professional player, in my opinion. He needs to be tested at senior level against men in that environment and see how he deals with that.
You need to be together, alright, you need to help the younger ones, but the younger ones need to fucking encourage the older ones as well. It's all about that, so make sure you go and do that. Come on lads, come on. Well, obviously I had to bring him off early. He's hurt his groin, he's went for a ball and he stretched for it and he's hurt his groin. I don't think it's too bad. I spoke to him very briefly in there, but he's disappointed about it happens, you know, he's got to deal with that situation. It's not the end of the world for him. You know, he's done well to come in and start the game for the first team. He's got to learn that that's football, and if he wants to progress he needs to take the low points as well as the high points and just try and move on the best he can with it.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's I can't explain, I don't have the word. I'm not in the mood.
I've understood that myself alone as the owner of a football club, very limited, okay? But if we get people to buy in as members, we're going to be more powerful, we're going to be stronger, and we can do things together that I cannot do alone.
What you're doing is really trying to create a fan base, and not along traditional lines, but a membership scheme. Potentially fans could be signing up from other parts of the world. And what's interesting, I suppose, will be within that model how to get all these different viewpoints together to keep everybody happy.
You kind of hoped that maybe at the start of the season that hopefully we're going to do a wee bit better, especially with some of the players I think they've brought in. But saying that, I think the Lowland League's a decent league. You look at the table, to me it's basically panned out with the teams I expected up near the top.
Yeah, just came down the car. An hour and 20-minute journey.
And you with your daughters today?
Yeah. Revolutionary as well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
How did you get involved?
Me.
I think anything that's creative, that gets a club running well, that gets a club in profit and that gets fans coming along, I think you've just got to be open to anything. We need kind of creativity in Scottish football to kind of revamp it and maybe even rebrand it a little bit.
I'd like to have finished higher up the league because you're probably looking at finishing ninth in the league now. It's not ideal for the sort of aspirations we had at the start of the season.
I think onwards and upwards next season. Lots to be positive about. I think with the name, with the new stadium, I think yeah, it's positive on the whole.
A great risk to life and limb for he was putting a carry by, got it.
Some of the finishes, Chris, that were
exciting times, right?
Oh, brilliant.
Today we're down at Bothwell Hall, which is it's going to be the new facility, the new home ground of our football club. Just meeting with Colin Walker today, who's works with the North Lanarkshire Leisure. He's overseeing the project.
Along North Lanarkshire, I've got a strong heritage of football. You know, 2 Lisbon Lions came from here. Obviously, Billy McNeil's just passed away. He's born in Bellsill, just down the road.
It's an ideal facility. I mean, a beautiful day like this, a bit windy right enough, but it's just you want to get the balls out, don't you, and get a game of football. It's been a long time coming, as you can imagine. You know, with the greatest respect to the council, it's never the fastest of machines to get going. But the North Lanarkshire Leisure have been great. To be fair, you know, they've been really open to working with us, really enthusiastic. It gives us a real opportunity to call this home. You know, it's something that we haven't really had. I think it seems to be all on track, touch wood, famous last words, and I'm sure they probably wouldn't tell me if it wasn't on track. And it's great just to see guys with yellow vests kicking a bit and hard hats, you know, getting work done, you know. Obviously making sure that everything meets SFA and UEFA club licensing standards. It'd be a bit of an embarrassment if we get to that stage where there was a shower head missing.
It's a vision we've had for a wee while. We need to bring that to fruition and start to deliver on that. And then it's over at you guys with the product in the park.
It's inspiring, isn't it? The whole project's about hope, you know, and I think even this is something physical, but in my mind I'm hoping that in the first game of the season we can have some fans down, we can have some kids, brand new football club in a brand new stadium, first game of the league season. So I mean, if that's not exciting, I don't know what is.
Here's to a successful partnership.
There you go. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Likewise.
So today we're in a cup final, which is great. Hopefully we'll finish the season, old cliche, but hopefully we'll finish the season in a high, because it's been quite a mixed season for us really in the league. But it's an opportunity for the guys to go and win a cup final, which is probably going to be the last game as Edusport Academy, and probably going to be the last game, all things being well, here in Annan at Gala Bank. So it'll be a nice way to end the chapter, I guess, a wee chapter in our history today with a victory.
Play with a bit of pride out there, play with fucking tempo. First 10, 15 minutes, fucking tempo.
Listen to each other.
Come on, lads. Come on, boys.
Every time we play with rugby, we squeeze. We don't fucking let the ball go. Up. If you don't chill, that's a problem, because he goes for it as well.
Don't give these guys a fucking chance. Don't give them a sniff. Don't give them a sniff. Right, so get in their face, play with real fucking passion and a pride to go and fucking score against them. Go and fucking get right in amongst them. Go and fucking dominate them. Go and get in their face. You do that, lads, every faith you'll go and fucking win the game. Alright, come on, lads.
I'm not really sure what happened, to be honest, no, but two guys set off, so it puts us in a better position.
I've seen Edusport when they've been down to 10 men winning the game, and I've even seen them down to 9 men and still winning the game. No, they know they're going to play harder. Ricky can be very passionate on that sideline, I'm sure you'll have heard him.
Excellent, aye, feeling amazing. Yeah, it was a crazy game, two sending offs, and but the boys showed great character, to be fair, coming back from that, and delighted to finish the season in a high, and which probably the last game of Edusport Academy. Really delighted for Matty Flynn as well to score 3 goals, and particularly for the young guys, the academy guys, that have come through the academy, come into the first team, and just to be able to experience that kind of game. You saw when Matty Flynn scored that last goal, the emotion, and I'm the owner of the club, and you're supposed to have a wee bit of decorum and class, and I'm in there jumping in on top of them and getting sweat all over me. But that's what it's about, and again, that's what football's about. And it's if football in the 5th division and a cup that nobody even knows about can bring that kind of emotion, and passion, and that's what the whole project's about. You know, it's harnessing that and sharing that passion and bringing it to people and getting everybody involved. You know, so it's brilliant, excellent.
So well done to these lads, you deserve it. That was a real fucking different day for sure. Okay, so well done to everybody, have a good night tonight, enjoy yourself. Alright, well done lads. Again, I say it all the time, regardless of what level you play at, a cup final is a cup final, and going down to 9 men and winning it is even better. Yeah. So it's sweet. So the boys, as you can see, there's a few beers going around. Chris is sorting us all out, so we're going to have a happy bus journey home.
A few well-deserved pints tonight, mate.
Keep in touch, I like to send you emails.
I know you do, right? Those 10 emails are fucking brilliant.
And this is a fascinating story in itself. We had Chris Ewing on the show before, maybe a year and a half ago, when he was involved with EduSport. They're going to be in the Scottish Lowland League. Rather than playing down in the Annan area, they're going to be playing at what they call Alliance Park in the Strathclyde Park, place dear to my heart. You've already got the wee mini Disneyland down there, M&D's and all that. You know, you've got no, but genuinely, yeah,
it's the first time I've heard it called mini Disneyland.
You know, and you've got great. The thing everybody talks about, and primarily with Hampden, they always talk about transport links and all that. I can't think of a venue to be better served for the roads.
It is getting exciting, yeah. Things are starting to raise from the ground. The pros of this area is it is central. You've got the M74, you've got the M8, but that's also its drawback. There's no public transport comes down this way. I'll be here virtually every home game, I would say, once we move in. I said to Chris that I've had MC at major competitions, Seven Nations tournament, dive announcer, Scottish gymnastics events. If I was wanted to come down and do pre-match announcements, if we can get a sound system set up, I'd be quite happy to do it. And it'd be good to see actual football getting played here for the first time in many years. A nice wee turnstile, stands, football on a Saturday.
It comes with a lot of pressure, if I'm being honest, because I feel a huge responsibility to those people. You know, I feel like, okay, I've created this project, our football club, and it's a lot more work than I had initially anticipated. But you have an absolute responsibility to those people to make sure it's a success.
I think a lot of people have got disappointed in this lack of slow progress this year. You know, everybody wants everything to happen yesterday.
The forum seemed very quiet to what they were originally.
There was occasions where maybe people were maybe thinking the project was perhaps something it wasn't, or the members' involvement would be something it wasn't.
Again, particularly Craig was aware of individuals putting ideas in and you know, throwing in suggestions into the mix. To all intents and purposes, as regards the forum, we weren't necessarily seeing those threads picked up and responded to.
But you know, in defence of Chris, at the end of the day, it's a big project, and I know we know from experience that trying to keep your hands on everything and trying to keep things ticking along, it's not easy.
We've now secured here, looks like we're going to be here next season, so that's progress in itself. It might be slow, but we're going to get there. We will get there.
Caledonian Braves, they are going to be in the Scottish Lowland League.
Yep.
You are now, rather than with EduSport playing in it, the Annan area, you're going to be Central Belt.
Yep.
At the Alliance Park, which I'd never even heard of. Are you really going here for the proud Scot who doesn't have a team to support.
Actually, the fans come from 30 different countries, and that again is part of the project. It's to create an online community that eventually will lend itself to an actual physical community where people actually come to the games. You know, we have met fans, if you like, from literally all over the world: Singapore, Florida, Castlemilk, Paris, all over.
Right.
You know, and
All
that's
the glamour.
again, it's the power of it, isn't it? You know.
Last day I've been driving from Paris up to Scotland, and I just literally drove up this morning with the kids. With the name, I mean, that obviously went to the vote. You know, I'm thinking initially, is that a good name? But then it kind of grows on you, you know, so I'm really actually quite delighted with the name, to be honest. I mean, I think it's like anything else. I mean, we're so used to Edusport Academy, you know, it's essentially my baby. And then I felt to a certain extent kind of giving my baby away, which I guess is part of the project. That's what it's all about. So Caledonian Braves, for me, someone living in France, living in Paris, you know, there's a romantic element to that. It's quite emotive. There's obviously Caledonian, which is obviously the reference to Scotland in there. And Braves, I think, is really quite apt for what we're trying to do as well with the project. Certainly something very unique and different from anything else that's here in Scottish football. Yeah, I mean, it's excellent to think how far we've came. I mean, we've came, without being arrogant about it, we've came farther in 5 years than a lot of clubs have came in 100, you know, just in terms of getting a club licence and getting up through the pyramid system. You know, we won the South of Scotland League. It's quite funny the other day actually, because I was reading on a forum that Edusport Academy, there's no way they should be in this league, fast-tracked. You know, we were in the South of Scotland League for 3 years. You know, we're the only club the first club that actually won something to get into the Lowland League. So we're working hard, you know, always working hard.
There's a lot I learned for last season, really a lot, off the pitch, on the pitch. Probably not got enough time, that'll be a different interview. But no, as you try and move forward with things, you try and progress. I've known about it for a while that name was bubbling away. I wasn't too keen on it to start, if we're honest. I quite like it, it's something different now. If the supporters and the members, they like it and they voted for it, good on them.
Yay! Good save. May get you signed up. So we're going to actually officially launch the new club, Caledonian Braves, this week, and that'll be coinciding with the app. That'll be hopefully a game changer. You know, it's the first time again that anybody in Scotland has done an app that's specifically aimed at fan engagement.
Yeah, you want to be my assistant today, Eloise?
Everything's about innovation. How can we innovate? How can we change? How can we make things better? And hopefully we're trying to do that with this app, because I don't feel like there's enough innovation in Scottish football, to be honest.
The only negative comments is really about building up a fan base at Bovril Hall. Is it something that we're going to be able to attract?
I think the challenges will probably be getting people to come along and support the team. I think we look at, there's already Hamilton in that kind of area who they're quite famous for struggling to get people through the door. Like there was a game recently where they only had 28 away fans, and that's in the Scottish Premier League.
It's a new club. I think getting the ground will make a huge difference. I think that in terms of creating a fan base and having a core group of supporters, it will make it infinitely easier.
Certainly a big difference from the last time I was down, where it was just an old football pitch. It's now a football stadium or a football ground. It certainly wasn't my first choice of name, but it certainly will grow on me. Folk have voted for it, so that's what happens.
So it's not bad, like Brave, come on the Calais, come on the Brave. I don't know what the fan will call us, but it's good. Enjoying to have new stuff coming up. And we have our home, so our identity, so it's good.
It looks great, it looks really good. I mean, coming from where we were last year, my office is in my house, you know, so just like really, I've said to you before, it's like, that's huge for us. So we've got one place, we'll get more quality because all the coaching staff will be here. All positive so far.
Busy day today, man. Aye. So, what's happening here?
Just got a big game today myself with the football. I work in football, so I've got
What's the team?
It's actually called Caledonian Braves.
Are you beating?
So it's just my first kind of home game of the season.
Is it?
Aye.
So who are you playing today?
We're playing Kelty, so it's Barry Ferguson's team,
Right.
who've spent funny money this year on players. So they'll be one of the favourites for the league this year.
Right. Where's the ground?
It's in Strathclyde Country Park.
Oh, right, cool. Aye. I grew up in Coatbridge, not far from it.
Is that right? Aye,
Aye,
so.
man. That's a good area.
So what, you're an Airdrie fan?
No, man. Celtic, man.
You'll be happy up here because that's what you
It's
see.
alright, man.
Celtic
It's
tips over
alright,
here.
but we've actually got a large contingent of Rangers supporters come in here too. We get a lot of foreign students in. If they move to Glasgow, then after a wee while they ask you about things like sectarianism, and it's hard to actually talk about it because it makes the city sound like a bunch of idiots, basically, you know.
So what is it, Buckfast or Mad Dog?
Used to be Buckfast, man. It's not good for your health, man.
Back in the day, I actually stopped drinking 6 years ago.
Aye, I don't drink either, man.
I wrapped it, man.
Aye. It's not a problem, man. I found it to be a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
See, the biggest thing, right, see when you realise that you're actually in control.
Aye, being the master of yourself, man, there's a lot to be said for that.
Aye, exactly. It's the best thing I've ever done. If I hadn't stopped drinking, we wouldn't have the wee in there. She wouldn't be here, that's for sure.
There's too many other things to do in life, you know, rather than just get mad about every time you fucking wake up, you know. Like, how am I doing for length round here?
How am I looking?
A wee bit better. Thank you.
Cheers.
Very much.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm focused to the game. It's exciting with the new name, with the new player, new everything, new stadium. It's my first game in the new stadium, so I'm excited to play there. Last year was a good year about life, about my life, because we moved to Scotland with my girlfriend who moved with me. So it was a good help for me, for my season, for my life in Glasgow, in Scotland. And like this year, I will work for the academy with my girlfriend, so she will be my boss. She will be my manager. I think it will be a good game because I know Kelty Hearts have a lot of fans, so I can't wait to see that. The football fans in Scotland are really different than in France because they live completely the game, they live completely about their team. I think the fan is like the 12th player, so when they are behind you, when they support you, I think you can be like another player because you want to show them that they didn't come for nothing.
What started off initially as an innovative way to try and gain members who would pay to run the club, what I realised in the fact that it's actually far more powerful than any kind of crowdfunding platform, because you're really creating a footballing culture, you're creating something really, really innovative and new, something that's never been done before.
The new stadium looks really good, really happy with it. I think the only thing it's missing now is the social club, isn't it, so we can have a drink before the game. There's a season ticket for this year, laminated it myself.
I'm the PA announcer. Stadium's really come on really well. As you can see, when we first come down and it was just 2 bits of concrete in the ground to what we've got now, 2 stands, everything that's here, absolutely phenomenal.
It'd be nice to actually stand and watch a whole game, because I've never seen half the game together, man. Between chasing balls out on the road, organising the tee stuff and getting everything ready for the teams coming down to the pitch.
This is it, every weekend or every second weekend, midweek games. This is me.
Well, it's very exciting for me because it's the first time I come to this ground and it's all brand new and the new name, so it's getting like concrete. I'm really proud.
I like this. I mean, I take it they'll knock the wall, and shove it for the 2025.
Champions League 2030, no? Is that not what we're aiming for?
My wife and children are coming, but that was a battle. Last thing my son said to me, Gene, he said, I don't think I'm going to come today, Dad. He's 5. They're looking forward to it. They know it's a game and it's great to have them here. So it's shaping up to be a positive day.
It feels amazing to be here, you know. We've waited so long to have a ground that we can call our home, you know. And you come and you arrive on the match day and it feels like home, and you start seeing people coming in through the turnstiles. How you doing? You're the goalies, my man?
Yes,
So you're a Caledonian Braves fan,
Well, that's
then,
what I'm
mate?
saying, either well, we'll find out today.
Yeah, that's it. We're sure that, man. Be like, I'm a Braves fan. We need them. Can I have a coffee? Thank you. Today, when I saw that we're playing Kelty today, and it's our first Saturday home game, I was buzzing. I was fucking buzzing. Why was I buzzing? Because it's an opportunity, okay? I believe in everything I've done in my life, all you can ever ask for is an opportunity, okay? And today, you guys have a fantastic opportunity to go out there and prove not only to the Scottish football, but the world, what you guys are all about.
You've got nothing to lose, lads. Nothing. It's about now going and playing your best you can and go and get goals. By moving the ball, pass, move, pass, you'll lose it. They go and get it back. You might lose it again, get it back again. Go and get shots off. Corner. Ah, very good. All right, corner kicks, get it on top of them, be aggressive. Come on, let's go.
C'est bien, non? C'est bien? Scotland, any football romantic, even traditionalist if you like, there's always that element of dreaming, and that's what football's all about. That's what it should be about. You know, it should be sharing passion for the game, sharing the same ambition, sharing the same hopes, and that's what we're trying to create. We're trying to create a community.
Just to put the cherry in the cake, Amy, when he came in, and you can explain this, he handed me a can of cola.
Oh, I thought I was the only one that got that.
Yeah,
I thought I was a special one in here, Chris.
It's Alba, or Alapa, for the correct pronunciation, cola, made with Scottish water. Scottish water.
Are you sure this is a soft drink, Tam?
Made with Scottish water and heather extract.
Yep.
Does she know used to read the weather into it? No.
She get fired?
You're really going for the Scottish angle here then, Chris, aren't you?
Aye, I guess so. I think that's a midlife crisis, the cola, you know. I came up with that about a year ago as well, and that's it finally coming to market, so all good.
Hello guys, it's Jeremy Pascal. So as you can tell, I kept my dreadlocks and I went to United States where I play soccer. I miss Glasgow, but I don't miss the weather, you know. As you can tell, here is sunny. See you guys.
I'm always doing something else than the goal being scored. A ball went over the net and over the fence, just by force of habit, away we to get it. I'm not here for that anymore.